Industry, Investment and Commerce under the leadership of the Honorable Aubin Hill. I must also recognize the Commissioner of Customs, who is a major partner with us in the activities here in the maritime sector. There is Mr. Barrington Dawes, who represents the 1,200 employees here, the 220 who have been employed and the 900 who have continued. We have the representatives, we have Laurent Martins, who was critical to the original finalization of the concession agreement, and Mr. Martin Masson, from, who is now responsible, along with Mrs. Cabot, for the, all the assets in CMA CGM, including this port. And finally, we have a number of agents, which I can't single out, for all of our major partner lines, the lines that operate out of here. Just wanted to single out those persons for special mention. Prime Minister, as you are aware, there's been a hiatus in the visits from CMA CGM resulting from the pandemic. So we are delighted to have Mrs. Cabot, our Senior Vice President from CMA CGM, back in the island to discuss not just what is happening now, but the future. In 2016, Prime Minister, we entered into the public-private arrangement to make the Port of Kingston unmistakably the most competitive port in the region. There are a number of things that were earmarked for KFTL to do. There are some things that were earmarked for PAJ to do in order to realize that. Since I only have 2 minutes and 45 seconds left, I wanted to use the rest of the time to provide a report to an update to our stakeholders. And I see in our audience as well Anthony Hilton, who is the MP for the area, but much more than that, he was also quite instrumental in the establishment of a vision for this becoming a major hub. The capital investment program that we embarked on in 2026 had to be undertaken by CMA CGM. Anybody thinking back to 2016, the government had established a macroeconomic and fiscal program which would have prohibited the government from providing the necessary support in the form of guarantee for loans that would be required for the PAJ to invest. And we had to do this because of the Panama Canal. And the targets were to deepen the inner channel to a depth of 15.6, to reinforce and refurbish 1,200 meters of quay wall, to install a modern terminal operating system, and to optimize the capacity to double the capacity. The results have been that we have had 178 million spent on the infrastructure, meaning the dredging, the pavement, the workshop extension, all of that has been spent. 54 million has been spent on equipment, aside from the 19 straddle carriers you see here. Another 10, so 29 straddle carriers have been acquired, along with 2 gantry cranes, 19 terminal tractors, 6 empty container handlers, 6 road heads, and 14 forklifts. And another 16 million has been spent on new information systems, primarily a new terminal operating system, one of the most modern in the world, as well as security systems, CCTV systems. The CEO has already told you that the volume has gone from just over 1 million TEUs to close to 1.8 million TEUs. Most of this occurring in the last 2 years. The maintenance, just to run a terminal like this, the maintenance activities are very critical. And the preventative maintenance compliance fell during the early period, but has moved up to 72%. 72% is not where we want to be, but it's a lot better than the 40% that we inherited. And we want to move all the way into the 90s. The jobs, you've already heard that the employment has grown by 33.33%. And I would say, since this is an update, the labor situation is stable. We have a good working relationship between the union and the terminal head. And you've also heard that the terminal has moved up in the top 100 ranking globally. And the question was asked by me of the Prime Minister, when are we going to be the top terminal in the Caribbean? And I told him, soon, 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 sir. We will soon get there. On the side of the PAJ, the port community system has been installed and is fully functional. The investments, and we have won several awards for that. The investments in security, which are funded through the Port Authority. We would say that this terminal is probably, at this point, has the best security system in the region, but we have still a long way to go to improve on that. We have weathered the storm with the congestion that has occurred most recently. And so Prime Minister and other stakeholders, the teamwork between the terminal, the Port Authority, and all of the other stakeholders in the community have improved and will be important for the future. The public-private partnership has delivered the results that were consistent with the plan. And now, having achieved those plans, we have to establish new plans, because we are still a long way from being where we want to be as a terminal. We look forward to that working relationship with with our CEO and with Carlos, the COO, and the other members of the team. And the results suggest that if we maintain the trajectory that we are on, the targets which we have established for this port will be established well within a reasonable time frame. And we can define that how we will, but certainly within the next 5 years, we'll see a lot happening at this terminal. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, Prof. Thank you for the overview and for providing us with even more context. Now, Prof said soon,